Yo, welcome to Godlike Gaming. Let's dominate. I could lecture you on how a torpedo functions or malfunctions in real life, but who cares? As long as you're concerned, all you want is to land the damned thing on enemy and send them to oblivion. And this is exactly what this video is all about. Regardless of the class you're playing, as long as the vessel has torpedoes as a weapon, you have to know this secret no one tells you about. As you already know, the game predicts where to aim the tubes to hit the enemy with torps, and that's the gray cone. But since other people know you have this prediction system, the gray line, and they already know that you have torpedoes, and more importantly, they know how to dodge it. Let me explain in these three scenarios for you. Either they are going full speed and all they have to do is slow down or turn towards you in close quarters, or they are moving slow, which then they can choose to speed up and dodge it. And the worst case scenario, they are stationary, then they either go backwards, forward, or do nothing at all. And missing your shots on a stationary target is going to make you feel bad for the rest of the day. Obviously you can't read people's minds, but now you know they probably know these tactics and using them. So all remains for you to do is to do something to counter these dodging tactics. Therefore, never shoot all your tubes empty on the gray line that the prediction gives you. That's the worst decision to make. And since most of the times you have two sets of tubes to shoot at the same time, always, and I mean always, shoot one set of torpedoes that you predict by your own based on the behavior pattern I just explained. Let me explain more clearly by giving you an example. Imagine the target is moving at full speed. Shoot one set of torpedoes behind the gray line. This way you counter the case as if they slow down. Now there is another important piece of information you need to know. Torpedoes need to travel a distance before getting armed. That's the start of the green zone. Also, in the latest patch, they applied a balancing mechanism to prevent frustration for other players, and this never applies in real life, and I kind of don't like it because this game is tagged for a naval simulation, so you know. And the main reason why Wargaming add this mechanism to the game is to balance submarines, which honestly, submarines are legendary by design in real life. They are basically the real life cheat codes. They exist to break the balance in the battlefield. I mean, for a second, think about submarines that US Navy or Russian Federation in nowadays have, the nuclear submarines I'm talking about. And the entire point of it is they exist, but no one really knows where they are. But yeah, I get it, it's a game and people would be mad because of sinking to a shadow you don't even know is there. Because submarines are totally off balanced, which made me to realize, actually, thank you Wargaming for crippling the beast. Alright, enough me yapping, let's back to the balance change. So how Wargaming balanced the issue? Torpedoes have to travel 4 kilometers to deal the full potential damage. Yeah, surely torpedo gets armed after 1 kilometer, but it deals minimum damage. In fact, the damage is so small, it doesn't even worth to risk it anymore. And as far as I remember, this change only applies to submarines, but I think it also applies to Kitakami. And since I don't own Kitakami, I can't tell for sure. Please let me know down in the comments if this feature applies to Kitakami as well. Moving on to the torpedo types. We have three torpedo types in the game: sonar-based torpedoes, which is exclusive to submarines, and you can guide its path after it's fired by targeting the enemy using sonar. Then we have regular torpedoes, which are the classic surface torpedoes. And then there is deep torpedoes, which, as the name suggests, they move deeper in the water and they deal insane amount of damage. And the catch, you can only target battleships and cruisers with it, because destroyers or surfed submarines are simply not deep enough into the water. But as I said, if you hit a cruiser or battleship with these torpedoes, it's GG, back to port. Alright, now the final tip. And I think this is very obvious, you probably already used this, but I say it again. Use torpedoes to block the gaps between islands, so if enemy pushes, they get obliterated. Also, torpedo inside the smoke screens. It's the most natural thing to do, because by doing this you either force them to leave the smoke or they get hit by a torpedo. There are other smaller details like torpedo detection range, spread modes, or torpedo speed, but those are ship specific and not part of this universal guide. Alright, that's for today's video. Don't forget to sub, and God is out!